Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, my dear sexy Virgo, I'm going to do a general reading for you. It's general and may or may not resonate. If it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there is an extended at the end of this video. The link to that is at the top of the description within this video. So, Virgo, I had some adjustments 2 days ago on all my orthodontic stuff in here, so I am struggling a little bit, so I do apologize. I'm getting a little bit better every day, every video, so I do apologize if there's a little stutter or I take a minute to say something, because usually I'm like blah, blah, blah. So Virgo, we're going to start with my L key deck, She Who, and I'm pulling out, this is I'm hearing for you because I've been doing like current and future energies, but for you this is like energy check-in. So we are focusing on energy right now. For whatever reason, I'm hearing like right now for Virgo. L-Key, I'm going to go into my Tarot of the Abyss to further explore your energy. If I need to clarify anything, I'm going into my teeny tiny Rider-Waite deck. All right, Virgo. Messages for Virgo. I'm hearing message for Virgo. That makes sense. It's a message. Singular, a message for Virgo. A message for Virgo. A message for Virgo. Virgo. Ooh, the way that just fell out. She who is wild, untamed, wild, and mysterious. I love that card. I don't know though. It's not, well, I don't want to say, because you don't want to like pigeonhole anybody, but for Virgo is a typical, usually you're very like, everything is in order, everything is precise, everything is organized. Maybe you've been doing an awful lot of like keeping everything in check and keeping it all, you know, all your T's crossed and all your I's dotted. You've been doing all the things you need to do and you just need to let out. I don't know, but let's see where this goes, because the tarot is going to tell us more. Whoa, what is at the bottom? She who battles, justice, fierce commitment. She who is present, now awareness and acceptance. She who changes, transformation, change, and enchantment. You know, I kind of feel like, here, I'll show you what you got in the underline. I kind of feel like you are letting things go as they need to go. Like you're letting things have more of a free flow. You know what it feels like? It feels dualistic for some reason. And I can't remember if Virgo, I think there's three signs. I think there's three that are dualistic. There's Gemini, Pisces, and there's another one, and I can't remember who it is. But regardless, this energy feels very dualistic of you. And on some level, I feel like you are being perceived a little more like kind of like a wild child, just doing what you want and letting things flow. But underneath everything, like I see this she who battles, justice, fierce, and commitment. And she who is present, now awareness and acceptance. And that goes into she who changes, transformation, change, and enchantment. Like, I think you are very consciously aware of exactly where you're going and you're fighting for it. But I feel like you're fighting for it in a very unconventional way. Like, I don't want to say that you haven't put a lot of planning and thought into whatever it is that you're doing right now. But I almost like feel like you have to a point and you're just allowing things to free flow. But it's still, it's like having an intention, working on the manifestation of it. So kind of creating building blocks around it and then letting it go. It's a little bit like training a puppy or a dog or a horse or a kid, and it's given all the training that you can, and then you let it go. Now it's just up to that, how it continues to manifest. Because this will bring change. It's a lot about having faith in what you've already built up on. Like how you've put this training in, even if it's just for yourself or for something else. And you're pretty, well, you're just as fierce in commitment. Like you have. I don't think anyone can take you off this path. But for some people, it might be looking like you're just allowing the path to go. I think you're allowing it to manifest in a very natural way after you've put the building blocks into it and you've invested in it. Which is, it seems like actually like a really healthy approach. Accepting what the universe will give or take here. And allowing the change to occur. So I'm looking at She Who Is Wild, and the card that comes out is the High Priestess. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh. Okay, because she's got the same headpiece as Iris, She Who Changes, Transformation, Change, and Enchantment. Look at that. They both have like a crown of a crescent moon. Wow, you are allowing yourself to transform. This kind of has the feeling of someone who's maybe always obeyed the rules. Always obeyed the rules. Always, you know, was the first one to line up when you were told to line up. Always was the first one to sit quiet. Always was the first one, I don't know, just to get the job done at work, just to do exactly what was expected of you and not really come outside of the box too much. Following a path that maybe your parents or others or even you believe this is the right thing to do. It's almost like really being held tight in the parameters of what you were born into and following that. And all of a sudden just like having some sort of an epiphany and letting it go, like letting it flow freely. It's almost a feeling of everything that was important before has very little importance to me now. And what's intriguing is it seems to be directing you, this change in perception of yourself. This change in perception of yourself has put you on the path to being very, very consciously aware. And I want to say like going into a very high priestess energy. Like you are about to really come into connection. These two cards are uncannily similar. Is there anything else? Like both are with the sky and the stars. They both have the sky and the stars. And they both have the crescent moon as a headpiece. You're going to be, I feel like you're about to go down a very unconventional road. Like if you've been on a very conventional path up to this point, there's something inside you, and maybe this is just sort of like some rumblings right now. And it could be just, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to quit your job and you're going to move and you're going to backpack the world or anything like that. But it really, I think it could start to come out in like, how do you present yourself? Like some of the things that you wear and what you do, being a little more open, talking to people about, look at this, she's got this incense around her, like utilizing incense, connecting more with earth. So it's like you're connecting more with earth, Virgo, but less on the parameters of how mankind, the story of mankind has directed your earthly connection. You know, like when I say that, I think more of like Emperor and even Hierophant energy, This is too, like, even getting really, really deep into your archetype of the hermit. But with the high priestess, like, and this sauvage woman, untamed, wild, and mysterious. This is really connecting with nature. It's connecting with the divine. It's connecting with all things made through spirit and not through mankind, is what you're finding your path on and through. And there really could be no truer path than that. Because everything created by mankind has been created based on story. Like, most of what we live is based on story and fable and tale and recounting these. And we develop archetypes and stereotypes and systems and protocols and everything based on that. And it has its own evolutionary process, but it's all based on the thoughts of man, and often based on the thoughts of man within an environment that he or she was trying to understand that could have been 10,000 years ago. I mean, we are living that right now. So you're kind of just saying, the truth is in front of me, and the truth is what I can see and what the universe has created. This is that awareness and acceptance too. I feel this is kind of an interesting card, like the way things are coming off the top of her head. It's almost like it's kind of blowing her own mind, but it's also releasing every belief that she's had, he or she has had. It's almost like a tower moment happening in your own mind, but simultaneously it's dissipating it and hitting this. And when you do that, like, it's clear, then you hit this high priestess energy. You no longer have this this clog or like a backed up drain in your ability to channel and interpret your world around you. So interesting. The justice, fierce, and commitment. I feel like this is part of the transformation. I kind of feel like on some levels, you may have felt very fierce and committed to certain ideals in your life. And then she who is present, like, this is like that exploding away and moving away out of your mind. You're in the middle of going through a really transformative shift. I want to say, I don't even think people would recognize you, but I feel like one of my earlier statements, like, this might start to show through first in like how you dress or how you adorn yourself. Like, it might just how you do your hair, cut your beard, like something to do with your physical and how you show that to the world. Like, it doesn't feel like it's just one day you're just going to walk in and you were dressed like, I don't know, there's a very professional sort of looking person, and then you just show up like this, right? With new makeup, looking very sort of Egyptian, Isis energy. I guess. I wanna see what card comes out for each one of these. For she who battles, the Five of Swords. See, yeah, like you're walking away from that. And I don't feel like you're necessarily going to walk away from things in a really unruly way or hurtful way. I mean, how people, we can't be responsible for how other people feel based on actions that we take for ourselves in our own path. But I really do feel like you are just guiding yourself to move away from conflict. And it's some of this conflict is what you're finding present within yourself based on your self-awareness, allowing yourself to be more free. The she who is present. Now awareness, acceptance. She who is present. Wow, the King of Wands. Like, yeah, you're totally taking ownership of your own life. This is kind of reminding me almost like the Hermit. And the Hermit's come out of a point of finding the inner information. Finished guiding yourself or looking for the guidance and now building your own fire. Building your own direction. Creating more illumination. Because the Hermit often just has the lantern. And I mean, this is building a big bonfire in the woods. And the Hermit's often shown kind of in the woods or on a hillside by himself. So this King of Wands is by himself. But yet, the fire that burns within is now being shown outwardly. Don't, no, go. Sorry, I have certain birds that are not to come. No, good. Anyways, it's my starlings. We were doing real good. We had all my finches and sparrows were in there. Yeah, the starlings are learning certain places they're not to go. Okay, Iris, she who changes. Eight of Swords. Oh, this feels like the change, like coming out of the Eight of Swords. Kind of almost like realizing the things that you believed in the past were beliefs that were unconsciously built around you. And these unconscious beliefs were keeping you from transforming. It's very enchanting, though. I mean, it's the last word here with Iris. Enchantment. You're becoming very enchanting. That would be, I think, the best way to describe this. You're becoming very enchanting. And, I mean, down the road, you could end up taking a whole new path in terms of your life direction, your who you're spending your energy with, how you're doing that. It's very High Priestess. The Tower, yeah, that's what we're describing. But it's, so the Tower, I think a lot of people around you will be shocked, but not in, there's a lot of calm, because too, like, this is just, like, it's allowing something to flow. It's being connected on a very deep spiritual level to yourself, to Mother Gaia, to the universe, spirit, your guides. It's very free-flowing. But for some people that may still be very presently stuck and see the world around them only for what it is on the surface. Like, one of the things that is sort of interesting has been coming through. I can't remember which reading it was. I can't remember if I vocalized it on the channel. I did tell it to a couple of my other tarot friends. Was Stockholm Syndrome. And that most of the world exists in that, where you were born into something and you believe that to be the good. You believe that to be the true path. And you have quite a lot of difficulty realizing that what you have has been created on lies, has been created on theft, has been created on deception. Like, really, most of the advanced society that we lived in has been created on that. So it is a sense of removing yourself from, like, this Stockholm Syndrome. No longer, because you're not necessarily being kidnapped. I mean, you could, well, you know, you're born into something and that's all you know. If you spend enough time with a captor who has full control out of all the information, that can be given to you, you're going to start to believe it because you have to believe in something. I think just biologically, it would probably be just the natural thing to occur. Isn't that interesting? So just biologically, that is the natural thing to occur. That we all believe that what we are living, what we've been born into, this is it. And this is what we continue to perpetuate. This is everything that we've had. But you're going really like beyond that. So let's look at, I want to look at just really the High Priestess and the Eight of Swords to clarify a bit more. The High Priestess, the Knight of Swords, it's not taking you long to get there. Not at all. And this is like taking you to the best days ever. It's like the Knight of Swords and the Four of Wands. You are just like this. It's almost like a flower. I don't want to say that. I don't like the flower children from the 70s because they all turned into yuppies and people that needed BMWs and Audis to define who they were. So I think it was all really fake. It was all really just it was just selfish exploration, to be honest, for the most part. Again, like just looking at it for what it is and instead of trying to say, oh, well, you know, that was the evolution. This is how we're now. It's just a bunch of, look at how that evolved. It's not good. So you are like really looking at things not so black and white, which is interesting because this High Priestess card is in black and white. And then these ones start to invoke color. Even that's an interesting statement in itself in the world that we've built. So the Eight of Swords. Wow, you're turning the tables on something here. The Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. It kind of feels like you're like nothing would hold you back. Nothing will hold you back. You won't even have to defend yourself. Like this is such a sense of freedom. This is, I don't even know if a lot of people will get this, like this message that's coming through. This is almost not being involved in any sort of battle, right? Like this is walking away from that. Because it's almost as if realizing that every battle that you or could be involved in here, all of it comes from the same path. All of it comes from the same path. You are going on a completely different path here. It feels very much like an initiation. So what is the Tower? I'm feeling even more like the Tower is like it's just a massive change in your life. What is the Tower? Oh gosh. The Tower is the Magician and the Three of Cups. You are finding yourself towards a new tribe of people, a new level of experience, and it's joy and it's celebration. I'm not getting the word reconcile with that Three of Cups. You may reconcile certain things with people. I don't think that becomes a point of direction for you. I really only see one direction for you here, and that's between you and Spirit. That's it. It's really intriguing. The Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is at the bottom. I kind of feel in some level like this is not making choices. But I want to say it's in a good way. With everything that's sitting here, this is not deciding whether you should go left or right today, because it's literally just like, I'm just going. I'm just flowing. I'm literally flowing. You know, it brings to mind like something that I think about sometimes when I watch like nature programs, or I watch nature in general. And I think like all these animals on the entire planet, they all wake up every morning and they just go. They just go and they just do, and they're constantly in rhythm with their world. And it kind of brings to mind, like this reading brings to mind, it's been a while since I've been in it. I've been going very slowly through it. It's a book called Sapiens. And it's really interesting because it's sort of, it combines philosophical and factual, factual information about the evolution of mankind and society. And it's funny because it kind of is coming, you might find that interesting because it talks about, the point of mankind choosing to become farmers and create agriculture as the point of failure in humanity. And we've built everything up from that. The minute we did that, we stopped working in conjunction with our world. And we stopped working like in a free flow sense. Like the animals wake up and they look for the signs, they follow their instinct, and they lead and guide themselves. Because who is to be able to measure a point of happiness and fulfillment that people have now based on that? And I just, like, it's just like, that's the feeling of this reading, like being able to look and say, like, and that's also the point where people started to feel anxiety around having things and forgetting how to follow the signs around you. Know what plants you could eat. Know what animal would be where to hunt. Know, like, just, you had to rely on just what you had here. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really interesting reading, Virgo. I would recommend that, but I can't remember the name of the author. It's called Sapiens. It's an interesting read. But yeah, that's what I see here. Like, that's what this reminds me of. Like this Two of Swords. Like, I look at the birds and you look at any animal and they wake up. And even like my little dog, Lily. I mean, she has full reign of the house, whatever she wants to do and wherever she wants to go. But I don't necessarily think she sits and thinks about her day. Like, she just gets up. Feel like seeing mommy, I go see mommy. Like, it's really a lot of based on emotions and instinct and free-flowing thought. This is so interesting. Wow. So, Virgo, that's what I have. I'm going to go do the extended. This really does feel like those that are entering a very, like, high-level spiritual practice or just existence. Even the word practice doesn't sound right for this. It's not, if you develop a practice, it's because that's what you feel like doing that day, this week, next week. It's almost not even based on any other information from high priestesses or witches or pagans or like any of that level or Bible read, like nothing. It's based on your free flow between you and the universe and spirit. It's very pure, very pure. So like I said, I'm going to go do the extended and I don't know what's coming out there. I honestly don't. So I'll have to go and see. Thank you for that, Virgo. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.